Ciao Bellas, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping through. I'd love it if you subscribed on your way out before you left so you could keep up to date with all of my videos that I'll be posting. You'll know about them. So yeah, why not? It's free. You don't have to pay for it or anything, you know? If this is not your first time, thanks so much for coming back, hanging with me, staying with me through this little journey of YouTube. I truly appreciate it. So today, I just wanted to share, and that's my dog who decided to bark right now. But anyway, share a little bit just about my life, about my story, and as far as parenting is concerned, and just a little bit of what has changed in my life since getting married and starting that new journey and all that good stuff, and how it affects parenting. So I guess the first thing that I can touch on, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in other videos that I have a daughter, and if you follow me on social media and all that stuff, which you should be doing, then you've seen pictures of her and all that good stuff. And she's actually 13. I have a 13-year-old daughter. It's still so hard. Like I still can't even believe I have a 13-year-old daughter sometimes. But I was actually just barely 20 when I had her. I got pregnant my freshman year of college, or right after the end of my freshman year of college, and wasn't exactly planned or anything like that. But it happened, and her father and I decided to get married pretty quickly after I found out, trying to, do things the right way and all that good stuff. And had her in January of 2003, and it's been a journey. It was definitely not easy. I won't say that, but it was worth it, and it was worth fighting through the adversity and all of the things that came at me, because it was difficult. I was an athlete. I was a student athlete, and right before my husband came home, so I had to say hi to him and all that good stuff. But I think I was saying that I was a student athlete, and I had a great freshman year. I played basketball. Had a great freshman year, and everybody had all these expectations for my upcoming sophomore year, and a lot of people were following my career, like from back home and all that stuff. I'm originally from Miami, and when people found out that I was pregnant, it was really a time that kind of showed me the people who truly cared about me and were supportive of me, and the ones that really weren't. I started hearing a lot of things coming from back home, that people were saying my career was over and I ruined my life, and it's just another statistic from Miami, that's what girls there do, and blah blah blah, a lot of stuff. I even had some people that were close to me, family, try to convince me to have an abortion, which I did not believe in. So that was out of the question, and that pretty much ruined that relationship. So I say all that to say that keep going. Don't let anyone tell you what it is that you can do with your life, regardless of whatever kind of mistake, I'll use that word, but my daughter was not a mistake. God does everything for a reason, and He has a purpose for her life. But the way that other people view a mistake or a misstep or just something that wasn't planned, something that you didn't see coming, that you didn't necessarily plan for in life, don't let people put their opinions and their burdens on you in your life. God gave you the ability to press through if you lean on Him, and to persevere. And you just have to dig down and pull that out and say, no, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm not going to be what everybody thinks that I should be. I'm going to be who God created me to be. I'm going to continue this journey, even if it gets hard, even if things get thrown at me. I just encourage you to not allow those things to settle in your heart. So fast forward, I went on to have my daughter, get back in school, get back on my team. We went to 3 straight Final Fours. I had a great college career, and then I went on to play professionally in the WNBA for 7 years. So it just goes to show you that you don't have to listen to what people have to say about you. Prove them wrong. And that was part of my motivation with just persevering and digging down was you're not going to tell me what I can't do. You are not going to tell me how my life is supposed to play out based on what you believe about me. So it was a huge motivator for me, and happy to say that I dug in, I persevered, and went on to not only not ruin my career, but to have a great career beyond college. So yeah, that's a little bit about that story. The other thing I kind of wanted to touch on was co-parenting, because my daughter's father and I are divorced, so we have to co-parent the best that we can. Um, and I know that it can be difficult, but my advice for anybody that's in that situation would be always put your kid first. Just always, always put in the forefront of your mind what's best for my child. Not what do I feel, how I want to get back at this person, how what they did to me and now I need to do this to them because they hurt me and I'm gonna, at the end of the day, your child suffers. If you allow those things to be the motivator in how you behave and how you interact with that other parent, your kid is going to suffer because they see that stuff, they pick up on that stuff, they internalize that stuff. And it's already hard enough for a kid that goes through a divorce of two parents. They already put a lot of stuff on themselves. They internalize a lot of things. Well, it was my fault and this, that, and the other. And you don't want to do anything to add to that rift, you know. I can't say that we have been perfect through this process, but that's definitely something that I've learned, and we're definitely in a better place now. It's been years. We've been divorced for years now, but that's definitely something that I would say to always keep in your mind, that what's going to be best for my kid. And if you're in a situation where you're dealing with the other parent who is not behaving that way, who's not thinking about the child first and not trying to be cooperative and you know, make things work, still suck it up. And I know, especially us as moms, we're kind of always the ones that are left with the burden to take the high road and be the bigger person and go above and beyond. And honestly, I have felt like I've done that a lot. But at the end of the day, I think about long term and what's going to be best for my daughter in the long run, because I'll never speak an ill word to her about her father, because that's her father. Regardless of what happened between he and I, it has nothing to do with her relationship with her father. And I grew up without my dad, and I know the effect that it can have. And I don't want to put her through that. I don't want to put her through any more than she's already had to go through experiencing two parents that have split up. You know, so that's something that I try to always be mindful of, is just making sure that I don't do anything intentionally to harm the way that she views her father or to hurt the relationship that she has with her father. So that's something that I would encourage. I know, like I said, I know it's difficult, but you have to put your feelings aside. Once you have a child, it's no longer about you. It's not about your feelings. It's not about what you want. You made the decision to lay down and make that child, and you have to make the decision to put that child before yourself. So that would be my advice as far as co-parenting goes. And if y'all have any more questions about any of this stuff, leave them below. I'll be happy to answer them or do another video that goes into more depth if you like. And then the last thing I guess I would touch on as far as parenting is concerned, like I said at the beginning, I am newly married. My husband and I have been married for 3 months now. And it's definitely different, because for a long time I did things my way with my daughter and handled things the way that I felt like were best in my house. And now I have another person that I have to consider. You know, I have someone else that I have to, first of all, allow to lead this family. If you're a believer, then you understand, you know, the order of the household and how that should look. Not saying that it's, you know, a dictatorship and whatever you say goes, but you have to allow your husband room to be a man and just take lead and lead your household properly. And so that has been something that I've had to learn to adjust to, and learn how to kind of relinquish a little bit of control over how I'm used to doing things and how I want things done and the best way that I think things should be done. So that my advice for that would be to just communicate heavily, just between the two of you, just constantly talk about um, decision making, why you do things the way you do, so that the other person can understand, that your husband, or whoever, can understand what your thinking is behind it. Because a lot of times you create conflict just from a lack of understanding, just from a lack of communicating and not knowing where the other person is coming from. And then the other advice I would give for the mom is to just understand that your husband has your child's best interest at heart. So if he is trying to implement something that doesn't necessarily fall in line with the way that you're used to doing it, you have to remember that he loves you, he loves the child, and he's not going to try to do anything. Hopefully, I would hope you wouldn't be married to somebody that would try to do anything to harm that child or impede their growth as a person. He's only there to help. And my advice would be to allow him to do that. Just allow him to be able to foster that relationship and have input, so he doesn't feel like an outsider. Allow him to have input into how the decisions are made and things of that nature. So that's pretty much all that I had. Like I said, if y'all have any more questions about any of those three topics, I'd be more than happy to talk more about it and just share my experience the best that I can, and give any advice where I see I'm able. So again, thanks so much for joining me and watching and hanging out. If you haven't already, please rate, comment, and subscribe, because I love hanging out with y'all. So that's all I got for y'all today, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Ciao.